Discuss about an important the concepts on DMV. What's about DMV? It is dynamic management view. Why we are talking about the dynamic management view? Okay, let's say if you want to see your repository or your metadata information about your dataset, how you can query your metadata, right? So where your metadata is stored. Metadata in sense your Power BI dataset, object IDs and metadata that you can able to see in SSMS SQL Service Server Management Studio. If you just log in into that, you can able to see your metadata. Okay. So how I can able to see my metadata here? That's a question, right? So you need to log in with Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, and you need to log in with your workspace here. You need to connect your workspace, and so that you can able to see your PBA dataset like this. Actually, once you into that, then you need to for login to that you can give your server name and your database name here, and you need to provide your appropriate SQL or a tax query here. If you provide the tax query, then you will get an output like this in your SSMS, right? So the purpose here I would like to discuss about, there is an important concept actually. We know that user principal is a DAX function which we are used for RLS, and user principal is a DAX measure. Using that, whosoever will log in into your report through this user principal, it will deduct the user who is logging into that. And with regard to that user principal name, we can able to do RLS. Suppose if I want to implement the same user principal via Power Query, is there an option? So that is our agenda. That is our topic in our today's discussion about this presentation. Yes, we do have a solution for that. That is the DMV query. As I said, right, DMV query, which is the one which is called a dynamic management views. A short we call as a DMV. So here, what I'm going to show here, let's say I'm just using the small function here. I'm just using a username and the user object ID, user principal name. So this is my output here. You can say username that will capture my name, and user object ID that will capture an active directory of ID, and user principal name that will capture here actually, right? So in DAX, I can use user principal name to identify I am the person logging into the report. I can able to see whatever the privileges access which is given to me. I can able to see only the data which is associated or which is assigned to me, to your department or to your department or an whatever the product or any ID regard to that. So that is clear enough. With the user principal DAC formula, we can able to do RLS. But our question is, with the Power Query, is it a way? Since this user principal, we know that it's a measure, we cannot pull in our Power Query as a calculated column, right? So in that case, we have a solution of DME tables. How we can able to do this? This is a way. And if you see here, right, this is a steps we covered. We have a table, DME table called SYSTEM.DISCOVER.SESSIONS actually. This discover session will capture about the user interactions on the PBA dataset or the report actually. And it has the session ID and session when it was opened, when it is sent, and also it has session username, and it also session current database name actually. So what we need to do is in our data set, we need to load the discovery session, the DME table in our data set. How we can able to do this? We need to go with the formula, connect. We need to we need to query this via advanced query of the system discovery session table. So by doing that, we are able to get a table of that. In that table, we have the session username that will capture our email ID. So since the session username is equivalent to your user principal name. So with this session username, we can directly join to the appropriate table and make the RLS through from Powerquery. Instead, from the way how we are doing with the DAX query, we can do it from the table that is available from Powerquery. And this table, which help us to do this user principal enable in Powerquery with using the DME table discovered session of the column session username. And we do have the other four ways that listed here for the username, the R and the NTFS and the local DB and HTTP. And these are a few options which is I found from Google. But these options I tried to is there a way, and I found this table and this discovery session table of DMV which help us to get this session username which is equivalent to that user principal name here. That is the idea behind that your DME tables. And for now, let me show a few DME tables actually. This is discovery session, right? You can see this is the discovery session. And this will capture your metadata section, and this will capture not only capture your user details, and also it will capture your CPU consumption, memory used by your comments, and what's your database or a cube or who is used, the username, everything it will capture using this uh, the command. So where you can able to query this, you need to log in with SSMS, and you can query the query here actually. There are list of lot of DME tables actually, and you can see these are tables we listed here. And the current one is they implement a similar kind of a metadata. They implemented with the info dax table, which is nothing but you can see here, right? This is the info dax table actually, which is equivalent to that whatever we have in the DME queries. And this is specific for your report variables for your data set things actually. Predominantly, if you want to see the columns, if you want to see your model, if you want to see your relationship, yes, that can be you can able to see. If you see, you can see the info models. If let's say if you say the info models, right? If you see the info model, if you just drag his here, and you can see your storage detail and all your details characters and when it was modified, who has done it, all the related information you can able to find here. The same thing we have the metadata DME model, you can able to see here, right? So using this model, that will give the relationship, table formation, hierarchies, levels, and so on. A lot of things you can explore with this DME table. The idea of our presentation is we want to make use of the user principle via Powerquery. So for that, the DME table will help us to find the session username, which act as a user principal here. I hope these sessions will give an idea about what is about DME tables and what about info tables and all. Thank you.